May your soul rest in peace, Ada Ameh. This has been very difficult. I know that we've lost a lot of people in Nollywood recently. I know that we've lost a lot of loved ones recently. People just dying like flies left, right, and center. So it's almost like we're becoming numbed to that feeling of loss when someone that we love so much departs. But everything changed with Ada's departure. I'm telling you, except if you didn't know her, except if you've never met her, she was such a warm spirit, such a beautiful spirit. That's why everybody loved Ada. I don't know, maybe some people hated her, but I say everybody generically loved her because there was just nothing not to love about her. And I'm not saying this because she passed. This is true. You can ask people who have encountered her. And that's why I decided I will make this video as a tribute to Ada. And the tribute is not to come here and shower encomiums on her. It's to unravel some of the circumstances surrounding her death, just so that maybe someone out there might take a cue from whatever it is we're going to discuss and then be better prepared for whatever eventuality may surface tomorrow that could lead to potentially what has happened to her, because we don't want this to happen again. It's why I put out a video recently asking people to please pray for and also donate to help Brother Clem Mohameze to get through his correctional surgery. I mean, if you go to my channel, you see the video out there, because we just have to rally around and help one another. This thing that's going on in Nollywood is not only Nollywood, it's happening everywhere, but because we are out there in the open, whatever happens, people tend to read a lot of meaning into it. So when the news of Ada's passing broke, there was a video that, surfaced immediately, and it was beginning to trend like crazy. Everybody started saying, oh, you see now, they didn't help her when she needed them and all of that. And this is the usual thing that people would do. But I took a look at that video again, and it was a video, this particular video here, where she was saying that she collected money from some people to do a job, and she was not able to do that job because she had what she called mental problem. Not that she was mad, but I'm pretty sure she was having some psychological situation and needed to see a psychiatrist.
Everything's going to be fine. Yeah, I have an issue right now, and it's taking my life. I'm not going to die. We'll get over it. We'll get over it. I was given a job. I didn't do the job because I had mental issues. Would people understand when you say you have mental issues? They won't. They are slamming me with a bill, suing me. It's okay. It's okay.
Now, from this video, if you look at Ada's mouth, the alignment of her lips and her face, you can tell that there is a little collapse happening somewhere, which is a sign of stroke, from everything that I have also learned and looked at, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, even though I'm surrounded by doctors. My brother-in-law, they are all medical doctors, but it doesn't qualify me. But I have a little bit of an experience in recognizing people who have little traces of stroke happening. So her face shows that she was already becoming susceptible to stroke. This thing had caused her so much pain. It could be this, it could be so many other things put together. She just lost her beautiful baby 2 years ago in 2020, and all of these things happening at the same time. But at the end of the day, we now see another video where I believe Ada was invited to where this unfortunate thing now happened. It was a private jet. And from everything that I have researched, it appears to me that that situation had been taken care of or was in the process of being taken care of. So it wasn't a situation of being abandoned. I think she was being properly taken care of and people were responding to her needs, okay? But then, why did she just die the way she did? Was it because of that? Was it because she was owing people? Was it because no one was coming to her aid, even though they flew to Warri from Lagos on a private jet? Was that the reason why she died? I don't think so. She already gave us a clue, and that clue is what I want to share with us right now. So take a look at this video.
Sometimes I wake up and, we practically grew up together. I was 14 when I had her. So she was more like my younger sister. And my friend, she was my best friend. And I just saw my world crumbled before me.
Yes, we understand.
I'd lost 3 of my sisters before that time. And each of them had like three children. I'd lost like 3 of my brothers and my father. So after burying all these people, then my daughter, my younger sister that died last, she died in 2018. She was a footballer. She was one of our female coaches. She was one of the assistant coach in under 19 female national team. And after she died, I thought I was going to be the next. I don't know. But when my daughter died, my world crumbled before me. And then sometimes I see myself for days. I could cry for days.
It doesn't get any clearer than that. So this was a girl she had when she was 14 years old. So it's like a child giving birth to a child, right? Now, so she practically grew with her daughter. So understandably, losing a child like that will throw you into a massive, massive level of depression. So we understand. But that's not the point from the clip you just watched. Did you notice that she said she lost 3 of her brothers and 3 of her sisters? And each one of those sisters she lost had 3 children, each one of them had 3 kids each. So you can see a pattern that is going on in that family. This has got nothing to do with Nollywood. Ada was dealing with an ancestral situation from her background. Losing 3 brothers, 3 sisters, a father, and then your child. So 8 people that a 48-year-old girl is made to bury in her lifetime. You know what it means to be 48 and you already have buried 6 of your siblings, your father and your daughter at the age of 48. That's mind-numbing. What she needed was an urgent spiritual intervention in her family. When you have an ancestral situation like she did, there's no 2 ways about it. The devil can only wait for your turn to come. Did you hear what she just said? She said after she lost her sister, she thought she was the next in line. So she was even anticipating death. This was a very corrupted family tree. For those of you who have watched most of my videos, I've dealt with this thing so many times. Because I myself, I came from a very horrible background. I began to fight my own early in time. It's not just only prayer that is needed. It's not just getting someone to pray for you. You have to also make certain personal decisions, like going into a covenant with God, like giving your all to the Most High. It's why I dedicated my entire life to God. That's why people who knew me in Nollywood from back in the days knew me as pastor, not because I was featuring in movies as a pastor all the time, but because they have encountered me and seen the kind of life I lived. You have to sell out to God completely. There's no gainsaying it. Don't let the devil deceive you. No amount of prayer from anybody can save you from ancestral wickedness, because ancestral wickedness runs in the bloodline, projected into the family tree. It's a legal code. When the ancestors you never knew went into this satanic agreement with the devil, You were not informed, you were not told, but it was legal. So in order to break it, you have to go through a legal spiritual means to break it as well, so that it will subsist. That's why covenant is the easiest way to go about it.
I get DMs almost every day for people. Some people say they want to commit suicide, and I ask them why. After burying seven family members, and my daughter joined the 8th, became the 8th of them. You know what that means? I've died 1,000 times. So if I see anybody that is going to say, just one of the advice I'll give to them first, talk to a doctor. Okay. I used to get professional help. I used to go to Calabar before now, because Nigeria were very funny. When you say you have mental issue, they just assume that you are running mad. Yeah. It could be schizophrenia, it could be depression, and it could be anything. You understand? Bipolar, it could be bipolar and all that. So I used to leave Lagos to Calabar to get medical attention until recently got a doctor in Lagos.
What she was going through was not something that doctors could have taken care of. There's no doctor or psychiatrist anywhere in the world that can help you through an ancestral wickedness or ancestral limitation. And how do you know ancestral wickedness? It is because it comes with a pattern. They always have a pattern. I mean, isn't it so mind-blowing that she told us that her sisters who died, all 3 of them, had 3 children. So the moment you complete the 3rd child, it's your time to die. And all 3 sisters died. The brothers died. And then it was her daughter. And then she was next in line. And her father had also gone. Who entered into this agreement with the devil that is dealing with these people? It's not just some family people or village people dealing or killing them. That happens as well. But this one is an ancestral situation meant to kill and destroy her. And I feel so bad because this situation was not taken seriously, or maybe it was, but not the right way. If you come from a family where there is an ancestral pattern, an ancestral wickedness, maybe any person who gets up to the age of 40 as a man, he dies. Or maybe any man who gets married, he dies. Or a woman who gives birth, they die at the point of giving birth. And it has happened to 3-4 people in your family. Seek spiritual help. You need proper counseling to help you navigate properly away from this satanic hold. It is that counseling that will tell you what is needed, because each person's problem is very unique. My own pattern might not be the same as your pattern, but at the end of the day, the solution is basically the same. And what is it? It is to change the ownership, to change your bloodline completely. As far as life is concerned, your progress on earth, your living, physical life, blood and water, body living on earth is all dependent on your bloodline. It's dependent on your bloodline. So if the devil went into an agreement with your ancestors and every single person born into that family tree in the future is supposed to be now a slave or a property of that devil, it simply means that the only way you can get out of it is by going into a covenant relationship with God. This is what is needed to break away from this covenant of ancestral slavery.
I see your friendship with Empress, and I see how much Empress does every other day, because I follow you and follow her as well. And what she does, how she tries to, be your strength or a shoulder that you can lean on.
Empress is not my friend, though. She's my younger sister.
So while I was looking at all the clips that were sent to me, I also saw this one, Empress. This video of Empress showing her some love is something worth noting. It's a beautiful thing. And I can only say to her that God is going to bless her beyond her wildest imagination. And she will never lack people who will love her even more than that. Empress, I heard a lot of stories about her and how she stood by Ada. Even when it looked as if the whole world was crashing in on her, This young woman stood by and she showed it openly. And like Ada said, this one is not my friend, it's my younger sister. They were like sisters. You know, for people who will always be too quick to criticize colleagues and say, yeah, you people are all now showing that you miss her. What did you do? Well, a lot of our people actually are better than you think we are. We do the best we can. We are not heartless people. Her colleagues are wonderful people, from the Johnsons to other colleagues who are not even on the Johnsons. People were very, very kind to her, and she was appreciative of it.
Oh, my colleagues, they've been beautiful. Oh. Like last year when Empress and my guy, they did that surprise birthday for me. Come and see calls now. Come and see calls. Come and see calls. Not just calls, cash gifts. People were giving me gifts. My colleagues were everywhere. They were just there for me, including Funke Akindele, Iniedo. I cannot start mentioning names. They were all there. They were calling Chigol. They were sending money like that. They were there for me, Yabo Ojo. They were just there. Fantastic. They were there. They were just there. Then my colleagues on the Johnsons, my executive producer, because I know there was a time that I was away for 3 months, and they were going to they were still paying me. They were just there for me. They were just there. They were there. And my followers, because sometimes when I open my phone, the kind of prayers I hear and everything.
See? We're not as bad as people think we are. She even mentioned names. Ada had a lot of love. But the devil came from her background. They came from her bloodline. And they succeeded in taking her away from us. I don't know who else is left in their family. But if she's the last one, what that means is that the devil may have succeeded in taking all of them away in a very untimely fashion. But what I think that we need to do is, while it's already too late to rescue anything, we need to spread the message to people. But when you have issues like this, when you start seeing patterns in your family, when you start seeing these things, cycles repeated in your family, please seek spiritual help. And may your soul rest in perfect peace, Ada. We love you and we miss you so much.